Okay, so let's get on to domain 4, communication and network security. As it says, we have some changes to the exam outline, but this domain is already very dense and complex. And although there's not a lot in the outline for this domain, there is a lot of material. So the fact that the outline has changed a bit doesn't mean that the actual syllabus and the exam is going to change as much, okay, because it's a small change in a very big topic. Those things are already covered in the study guide in pages 470 to 4. So we've got some new stuff to look at there. Okay, let's start with micro-segmentation, which is defined as a network security technique that enables architects to logically divide the data center into distinct security segments down to the individual workload level. So your VXLAN, your virtual extensible local area network, that's the data layer. Within layer 4, UDP datagrams, UDP and layer 4 of the OSI model, because they're already in the syllabus and have been for some time, and look up what UDP does as opposed to TCP. VXLAN endpoints which terminate VXLAN tunnels, okay, so we hide the actionable data and instead a next layer down that works on the header and in order to decide what to do with the whole data package. Okay, so encapsulation is not really new because that's how the internet works, but here we see it spelt out for the first time, and I don't know why they've decided it's necessary to do this for for the syllabus for the first time, but they have. Okay, so SD-WAN is an acronym for software defined networking, SDN, in a wide area network. And SD-WAN simplifies the management and operation of a wide area network by decoupling the networking hardware from its control mechanism. And so one example we can see SDN and by extension SD-WAN separates into 3 layers. So we've actually created a software defined sort of mini network layer model there in order to decouple the hardware from the control mechanism. So now that presumably gives us lots of advantages in flexibility and also hopefully in robustness if we've implemented it well. So, okay, so Li-Fi. Li-Fi is a wireless communication technology which uses light to transmit data and position between devices. And it uses the modulation of light intensity to transmit data, and it can theoretically transmit data at up to 100 gigabits per second and resistance to EMI. So great stuff. Okay, so Zigbee is an IEEE 804.15.4 based specification for a suite of high-level communication protocols used to create personal area networks with small, low-power digital radios, such as for home automation, medical device data collection, and other low-power, low-bandwidth needs. So, satellite internet access or satellite Wi-Fi. And again, we're looking at Wikipedia here. So it's an internet access provided through communication satellites, and modern consumer grade satellite into the internet, okay, but big satellites, very expensive. And I suspect we can all guess that the main advantage of the new networks is that they will have greater bandwidth, giving higher download speeds, eventually up to 10 gigabits per second. So not quite up to Li-Fi, but nevertheless very fast. So very, very powerful and slightly controversial, but for no good reason. Under subdomain 4.2, which is about secure network components, under the bullet covering operation of hardware, we've got redundant power, warranty, and support. Now, we already talked about redundant power in an earlier domain, so that's becoming more explicit. Might that be a service level agreement or something like that? Well, possibly we mean direct connections to external entities are sometimes required for business operations. Maybe and also to save a lot of money rather than have the whole infrastructure ourselves. And again, I do recommend go and have a look at that webpage for some more depth on this subject. Now, to be honest, again, this is a very abstract thing. Personally, I think that's easier to understand. How do I protect? What are the implications of using this technology? Okay, that's where I suspect you will see those type of questions. Okay, so that is domain 4, communication and network security.